Hello and welcome to the Olfactive Melbourne podcast. I'm your host, Trent Stokes.
And I'm Robin Stokes. We're a husband and wife team passionate about perfume, and we're on a journey to better understand and explore the art of perfumery. We're coming to you today from Melbourne, Australia, and we'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land on which we're recording. They are the Wurundjeri and Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation. We pay our respects to the elders, past and present, and we extend that same respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are listening to the recording today.
On this show, we interview Australia's premier niche, artisanal and indie perfume brands. From the founders to the perfumers and on to the creatives who take us on a guided journey through a fragrance that best represents their brand. The show is wrapped around a masterclass in which we invite our guests to take us through each stage of the opening, the heart, and the base. The show unfolds in real time, meaning that there is time in between the opening and the heart and the base. And this is known as the dry down. During the dry down, we take the opportunity to deep dive into the perfumer's journey, their brand, their mission, their vision, their values, along with getting a better understanding of some of the technical terms in perfumery, along with how to identify individual notes and accords so that we can more deeply connect with perfumery, and also so that we can better identify the notes that we like and dislike. This allows us to make more informed decisions about the fragrances that we connect with and that we ultimately wear. The show is designed to be both educational and entertaining. So if you like what we do, please like and subscribe and make sure to sit back, relax and enjoy the show. The Olfactive Melbourne podcast is proudly sponsored by Watchvault, Australia's premier destination for luxury and vintage timepieces. Each watch is trusted, verified, and ready for its next chapter. Visit watchvault.com.au to discover your next timeless investment.
Today, we're excited to welcome Yassin Ahmed, founder of Aawed, a luxury Australian perfume house inspired by memory, identity, and the transformative power of scent. Aawed creates olfactive experiences that awaken nostalgia and reconnect us with memories and moments that define our essence. Grounded in Melbourne's botanical beauty and influenced by the Arabic word for comeback, Aawed is a call to revisit and relive our most meaningful memories. Welcome to the show, Yassin. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me, Robin and Trent. I'm truly excited to be here with you and share the journey of Aawed with you and your listeners.
To start off today, Yassin, it would be fantastic if you could tell us a little bit about Aawed. So how long have you been around? When did you start the brand? Where are you based? Just to kick us off today.
Okay, so Aawed is an Australian luxury perfume brand founded about 2 years ago. And we are based in Dubai at the moment with oils formulated in France. And our perfumes filled and packed here in the UAE for easier logistics. The name Aawed means come back in Arabic. And I used Arabic because I wanted to represent the roots of the founder, and it's reflecting the brand's deep connection to nostalgia. The scent has unique power to reconnect us to the meaningful memories and moments. And that's exactly what we aim to evoke with each fragrance we create.
Fantastic. So inspired by Australia, based out of the UAE, formulated in France. It's a bit of an international fragrance brand here. So
it is.
Fantastic. Yes, and we are so excited to get stuck into having a smell of your different fragrances here. So just before we launch in, of course, we need to let our audience know what we're going to be smelling today. So obviously you've got a fairly substantial range. Which fragrance have you chosen to select for our masterclass today?
So the fragrance that we choose today is Great Ocean Road because, of course, we are in Melbourne, like you're in Melbourne. And Great Ocean Road is like an iconic coastal road in Melbourne. It's one of my favorite places for me personally.
Fantastic. We love it as well. Obviously, we're biased. We're based here in Melbourne. It's one of the most beautiful
Amazing.
drives that you can do in Victoria here in Australia. So just before we do actually spray it out for our audience, just so that they can see, this is the Great Ocean Road. So this is the perfume we're going to be smelling today.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, Yassin, is we're going to spray it out here in the studio. We're going to put it onto blotters, but we're also going to put it onto our skin so that we can get a really well-rounded experience of the fragrance. So Robin's going to do that now. She's just spraying it out onto the blotters. We'll also put it onto our skin. And just to explain to our viewers why we do this, when we spray things out onto blotters, while we do get a good experience of the opening notes, it can take a fair bit of time to actually dry down.
Yeah.
Unlike our skin. And the fragrance will remain the same on both my blotter and Robin's blotter, right? But when it's on our skin, it can interact with our skin chemistry and with our heat and be a slightly different experience. So,
of course.
So we've just sprayed it out. I've just got it on the back of my hand here. I've got it on the blotter, and we're about to smell the opening notes. But Yassin, we like to educate our viewers on perfumery. And so before we lean on you to take us through what we're actually smelling here in the opening, we'll just explain what an opening note is. So if we think about the construction of a perfume, we think about a perfume pyramid. So we've got our opening notes. They sit at the very, very top of that pyramid, while our heart notes sit in the middle and our base notes sit at the very bottom. Opening notes are made up of the very lightest and the most volatile molecules. That means that those molecules surface in the fragrance first, and that's what we experience first, hence why they're called opening notes. They are volatile though, so they do dissipate the soonest, and we're probably going to get anywhere between sort of 15 to 30 minutes out of those opening notes. So this is a really good introduction to the fragrance. So we can keep a timer there. I've got a little timer off screen here. I'm going to hit our timer here, and we're going to go through this over a course of about 15 minutes. So timer is set here, Yassin, and we're going to have a little bit of a smell. And what we'd like you to do is just take us through what we're actually smelling here in the opening.
Okay, so the opening for this perfume is bright and inviting. You will experience the fresh and juicy sweetness of fig, balanced by the soft floral notes of cananga. It's refreshing yet warm with an added touch of spicy from the pimento. So the fragrance immediately captures the feeling of the outdoors, evoking the freshness of the ocean air.
Fantastic. I guess you're imagining yourself, you're driving along the Great Ocean Road, you've got the window cracked open, and this is what we're experiencing first as we're getting those initial opening
and that's
notes.
The picture actually that I chose for like the iconic picture that I chose for this perfume is like, driving in this amazing coastal road.
Fantastic. So some amazing opening notes here. Quite a few opening notes, Yassin, and we're going to drill into a couple of these here. So one of the ones that you just mentioned was pimento. For our listeners who might not have experienced pimento before, or certainly not experienced pimento in a fragrance, can you sort of explain what pimento is and what we might be smelling here as we smell the pimento?
So pimento is a warm, spicy note that adds an intriguing depth to a fragrance. It's slightly peppery and woody aroma, which balances the fruitiness of the fig and the floral sweetness of the cananga. It's unexpected twist that makes the opening feel more complex and layered.
What are you getting the most when you're smelling? Because I feel like I get a little bit of the pimento and I can smell the fig. So I love fig in the opening of fragrances. It's one of my favorite fruits, sort of smells, I guess. And I can smell that.
Yeah, it's very juicy, but it's not overly fruity. I think that's probably that balance of the fig there. I'm getting a bit of rose in the opening as well, but that spicy sort of pimento, now that you're saying it, I can see how it balances out that real fruitiness that's coming through from the fig.
Yeah, it varies from a skin to another, but like in my skin here, I'm smelling more of the fig and the pimento mixed with honey. In the plotter, I'm smelling more cananga, and which is like sometimes it varies from skin to another, and even the plotters are like different than the skin because they always saying that the last ingredient on any perfume is the skin.
Yep, for
Yeah.
sure.
So, Yassin, you've just mentioned cananga. I'm going to be honest here. I have never heard of cananga before. That's probably my inexperience. So,
Okay.
for other people who might not have experienced cananga before, what is cananga?
So cananga, basically, it's the Australian ylang ylang. It's from the ylang ylang family. Like they're planting it in Australia, and it adds like a floral and exotic depth. It has a sweet, rich aroma that helps balance the freshness of the fig, adding complexity and elegance to the opening. It's very smooth and captivating note that draws you deeper into the fragrance.
Mm. You can get a little tiny bit of the floral coming through for me now on the blotter. I can smell it. And I was curious about that note, cananga, so I did do a little bit of research, and I've learnt as well that the ylang ylang tree is also known as the perfume tree, which
Yes.
I didn't know that until I did the research, which was
Yeah.
very interesting.
So, as this fragrance is heating up on my skin here, the honey is definitely coming forward for me. I'm getting that sort of that sweetness of the honey there. Tell me, why did you choose to use honey in the opening?
The honey in the opening that adds like a soft sweetness. I didn't want the perfumes to be too sweet. I want it to be like balanced in the sweetness. That's why like we used the honey with blended beautifully with the warmth of the cardamom and the floral character as well for the ylang ylang and the rose. This combination evokes the feeling of warm breeze where the sweetness of the honey reminds you of the sun.
Yeah, that is definitely the feeling that I'm getting there. As we've got that view of not only that the window is open and that breeze is coming through, it's a warm summer air that seems to be
Yeah.
coming through the window, along with that oceanic sort of breeze that comes in off the Great Ocean Road. So, as the name would indicate, the Great Ocean Road runs along the ocean here in Victoria. It's a very long drive with some pretty famous things on the
Yeah.
way. The 12 Apostles,
Yeah.
and so you're
It's
getting that
very
ocean.
majestic. It
Very
really,
majestic.
there's something about it that takes your breath away when you are doing that drive and when you get out and at the lookouts. That's quite hard to even capture in words. So, the scent and the memory, I think because we've done the Great Ocean Road, you can sort of put it all together, the different pieces together, and yeah, it's good.
Absolutely. So there's quite a few notes that we've got in the opening here. So we've got the rose, we've got the fig, we've got the cardamom, we've got the honey, we've got the cananga, and
Yeah.
we've got pimento. I've got to say that's probably the most notes we've had in an opening of a fragrance that we've ever had on the show. So it's quite complex. Probably gives us an indication of what the fragrance is going to be about. There's probably quite a few notes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. So, Yassin, I think as an opening, I think you've provided not only a really good sense of what you're trying to capture here in terms of the Great Ocean Road, but given us a really good description of the various different notes that we're experiencing here. So we've got, as we mentioned at the very opening here, we're unfolding in real time. So we need to go through the dry down before we can get to our heart notes. That gives us probably about 10 or 15 minutes now that we need to wait before the heart notes will start to develop inside of this fragrance. And this gives us a really good chance to get to know you a little bit better. So, and we want to get to know you. I guess you're putting yourself out there in front of your brand. It's always good to know who the founder is. But I guess the interest in fragrance doesn't come from nowhere. You didn't just start a brand. There's been a bit of a journey.
Yep.
So, Yasin, my first question for you is, where did the love of fragrances first start?
So actually, my interest in fragrance began when I realized how closely scents is tied to memories and like emotions. I've always been fascinated by how a single fragrance can transport us to different moments in time. I wanted to create a brand to capture the power. So I sought out with like a master perfumer to help bring my vision to life.
And how long ago was that?
I started my interest in perfume started when I was like very young, but transforming it to be like a proper business, it started like 2 years ago when I established Aawed.
So I guess you had a vision for what you're wanting to actually communicate. And it's quite a specific vision here that you've got. So there's a bit of a theme that runs through all of your different fragrances here. Probably a little bit of a hint here with the Great Ocean Road, what that theme might be. But for our listeners and for our viewers, what is the theme of the brand?
So like when I came to the UAE here, I missed some places that I visited. So I wanted a perfume to take me back to these places because perfumes like or scents is the easiest thing to take you into a different place, different time, just in time.
Fantastic. So your fragrances actually take us to specific places, sort of all around the world.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, we're looking forward to unpacking some of the broader range as we get deeper into the program here.
Hopefully you like that.
But I'm sure we're going to love them. If they're anything like this, Yassin, we're going to be absolutely blown away. This is an amazing fragrance. So I guess making the decision to start a brand, I guess get in contact with a perfumer or contract a perfumer, start to manufacture perfume and then distribute it at scale, that's no small decision. So I guess what inspired you to create a brand and then launch it out onto the market?
So what inspired me to launch a new brand? I found that unfortunately the market now is full of dupes and twists, which is, in my opinion, it's destroying the industry of creating a piece of art like the perfumes. And also at the same time, as I said earlier, the perfume is the quickest thing to transport you from a place to another in just like a minute or a moment. So that's why I tried to create something, and that was one of my conditions when I met to be honest with you, this is the second perfumer because I went to another, like a first perfumer. I'm not a perfumer, so I don't know how to create perfumes. So I went to one perfumer, a well-known perfumer at the beginning, and I asked them to create perfumes for me to transport me from a place to another. And he chose the easy path and gave me some twists. So I rejected working with him and I went to another, which is he started creating perfumes from scratch. I know it's a bit like a complicated process, but I really respect this piece of art.
Yeah. And with I guess, the brief to the perfumer, do you have the idea or the piece of art that inspires you or the place that inspires you, and then you communicate that through to the perfumer as that starting point or the concept?
Yeah, when I went to the perfumer to create these perfumes, I took photos and videos and some memories even for myself and my family in this place. And we had like a good homework actually looking for what is the ingredients that they are in this place around the world. So we, like the master perfumer, is trying to bring all of these ingredients all together to be something pleasant at the same time.
Fantastic. Always interested because with our guests, we have a combination of people who I guess creative directors, much like yourself, where you communicate the vision of what you want to a perfumer, and that perfumer then creates your vision. And some people who are perfumers themselves and create their own vision. And there's a mix of all. And we're always very, very interested to get an understanding of how you might brief in a perfumer to create your vision. So I guess you've sort of described there, Yassin, that you have taken photos, you brought along, I guess, your specific memories of, in this case, the Great Ocean Road. to communicate it through that process. Did you specify any specific notes that you wanted, or was the perfumer interpreting, I guess, the memory that you were trying to evoke and suggesting those particular notes?
So actually, it's a combination between both. Like sometimes I recognize a specific note while I'm there. Like for example, the Great Ocean Road. I just informed him clearly that I want the saltiness of the ocean. I want to smell the saltiness of the ocean and the freshness of the ocean, plus the freshness and the dampness of the forest, which comes from the oak moss. So, and that's basically what I wanted during that time. So, and also at the same time, it's mixture between these and the story itself.
So is this always the case when you're briefing in your perfumers here, Yassin, that it's a bit of a combination? So you're saying, hey, this is the place that I'm wanting to, I guess, is the theme. This is the memory or the idea that I'm trying to evoke, and these are some of the notes that I'm wanting to, I guess, use.
Yeah, and that's why it takes time. Like, for example, for me, the first 6 perfumes, they took around 17 months to be created because they are just making a first sample, and then we are amending these samples to be representing more the place. I want the perfume to be a pleasant perfume at the same time, like a transporting perfume, represent the place itself.
Fantastic. So we mentioned right at the very start of this section here that you're based in Dubai.
Yep.
You've got a brand that operates out of Australia, and you've got a perfumer that is located and formulating for you out of France.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about all of those decisions. So why are you based out of Dubai? Why is your perfumer in France? And I guess why is your company, I guess, based out of Australia?
So first of all, Australia is my home, and for me, Australia is like the highest standards of like the lifestyle or even the quality standards of any product. So that's why I want to create this brand by the Australian mentality, the Australian standards. Secondly, Dubai, because my family is are living here in Dubai. And I'm close by everyone here, even my kids, everyone. France, of course, France is the main hub of the main city of the perfumes. A majority of the master perfumers are there. Even the essential oils, the highest quality of the essential oils are located in France. Whatsoever they are planting them all around the world, but France is the main hub. Like they are bringing all of the essential oils to France at the end, and that's why I chose France to mix the oils there.
Fantastic. I don't think anyone can argue with the fact that France is sort of the central, I guess, the mecca of fragrances around the world. It's the hub for perfumery, and so we certainly can understand why you would select a master perfumer from France. And of course, your family being located in Dubai makes sense. And of course, your home being Australia. So, and this is one of the reasons why we wanted to get you on the show. We interview Australian brands, and this is just a wonderful Australian brand that we're hoping plenty of people have found out about. But if you haven't, we are taking great joy in and sort of spreading the word about Aawed perfumes, which are absolutely wonderful, really high quality. So, Yassin, we're about, I'd say, 15 minutes into the dry down here, and so while our heart notes are probably starting to punch through a little bit now.
Yeah.
It's probably a good chance for us to transition to those heart notes. But again, just before we do, being an educational show, we're just going to explain a little bit about what heart notes actually are. So just for our listeners and for our viewers, I explained the perfume pyramid a little bit earlier. So we're now past our highly volatile and light molecules. They've started to dissipate in the fragrance, and we've made our way through to the heart. Now, there's a really good reason why our heart notes are called heart notes. And that's because this is really about where the beating heart of the fragrance is. So this is where Yassin has had the opportunity to explain to us what the fragrance is about in terms of the Great Ocean Road. So this is the beating heart of the Great Ocean Road as we get into the heart. And so the notes will usually reflect what that sort of core memory or that core place is all about. So I guess with all of that explained, Yassin, let's have a little smell and then you can talk us through what the actual heart notes are. All right. So we've just had a smell on our skin and we've had a smell on the blotter as well.
Yep.
What are our heart notes here?
So in the heart, you'll be experiencing a blend of earthy and floral notes. The cypriol adds a resinous woody quality, while violet and seaweed provides freshness and subtle aquatic touch. This balance gives the fragrance an emotional depth while still feeling grounded in nature.
Beautiful. It's I gotta say where it is on my skin right now. I don't know whether I'm using the right words here, but it also almost smells a bit yummy, like almost gourmand, somewhat. That's what I'm getting, I guess, on my skin. What might be giving it that quality there?
This might be the caramel, actually, because we use the caramel accord in this in the heart notes.
I think that's maybe what's popping on my skin to start with. What are you getting on yours?
I've definitely got a more of a earthy musky to me.
Yeah, it is. It's a little bit different on your skin than it is on mine.
Yeah, I'm in my skin. I'm smelling the cypriol as well.
So is that woody and earthy, or more just woody?
No, cypriol is woody, earthy note.
Okay. Yeah. So that must be what's sort of coming up more on my skin.
Yeah, popping on your skin a little bit more.
And
on the
you'll be smelling like a bit of like spicy, like a spice sweetness, and that comes from the cypriol.
Okay, yeah, because the blotter, to me, I feel like I can smell the rose a lot more on the blotter, but yeah, definitely more of an earthy smell.
So while I've got that sort of yummy, sort of gourmand note, I am still getting a sense of the ocean here. So there's oceanic notes coming through. What might I be smelling there that's giving me a sense of the ocean?
So probably that's the seaweed, because the seaweed gives you the oceanic, fresh, salty feeling.
There's a lot going on in this fragrance. Can I just smell your hand? Oh, yeah, it's definitely a bit sweeter on your skin.
So the gourmandy type smell, but still with that sort of oceanic sense. It really is giving that I don't know, it's the Great Ocean Road vibe. I guess we've spent a lot of time on the Great Ocean Road. I think you've really encapsulated this really well.
Yeah.
What was the thinking behind bringing in the sweetness of caramel?
So actually the sweetness of the caramel to give you the vibes of, when you're going for a picnic or something, you're always like taking something like sweet with you, or, it gives you the warmth of being with a friend or family.
Lovely. Yeah, we always have sweets in the car.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess that's the thing with the Great Ocean Road. It's not just you don't just drive the Great Ocean Road. You take a holiday on the Great Ocean Road, or you go on a bit of a viewing experience. It's not. I guess for those people who are maybe listening in other parts of the world and haven't had the privilege of traveling to Victoria and doing the Great Ocean Road, this is not a short road by any means. It's not a quick drive. This is many hours. You basically drive from the capital of Victoria, which is Melbourne, all the way from Melbourne, all the way almost to the next state along, which is South Australia. So it's a many hour drive. Australia is absolutely enormous, and there's lots of sort of landmarks on the way, and it's a bit of a tradition here in Victoria to go on holidays and stop at various places along the Great Ocean Road. And I guess that's what Yassin's capturing here is that that picnic, that holiday that you're taking as you go along. I love the seaweed note in here as well. Really, really unique. It's so well balanced with the caramel. You wouldn't think that these two notes work well, caramel and seaweed. They sound almost like they should oppose each other, but the way that your master perfumer here has blended all of the various different notes here,
Yeah.
it works well. It's sweet, but it's not overly sweet. It's oceanic, but not overly oceanic. It's just a smooth, well blended, beautiful fragrance. Beautiful. So you also mentioned there, as you're describing in the notes, that we've got violet.
Yeah.
What does the violet bring here in the heart?
So the violet actually adds a delicate floral touch, creating a soft, refined character in the fragrance. So that's why we use a violet. It's very elegant note.
Fantastic. So I guess as you're driving up the Great Ocean Road, on one side is the ocean, but on the other side is quite often it's the forest. It's I guess the inner landscape. So you're capturing some of that floral, part of the landscape there as well.
It's got a slight powderiness as well
Yes.
to it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Were there any other notes that you wanted to drill down to here in the heart?
I have to remember all the notes because there's a lot of notes.
So we have seaweed.
Yes.
We have violet.
Yeah.
We have obviously that caramel note that we've gone through. We've got the cypriol, and I believe we've also got geranium.
Yeah.
So that could be the rosy smell, but more green. Is that right?
Yes. So it's a bit of rosy hint with a green touch as well. That's the geranium, and it's slightly spicy sometimes when it mixed with some spices like the cardamom, for example.
Yeah. So would you say, Yassin, that with the top notes that they sort of blend a bit, or are there any bridging notes that sort of bring the top and the heart together?
So in the perfumes, actually, like the note has to be all like connected together, or sometimes it's like you'll be finding some notes that they are bridging from a layer to another. Otherwise, you'll be smelling like top note separate, heart note separate, and base note separate. So I would say like the geranium might be one of these notes because it's like a rosy green, spicy though, so it's connecting the top note with the heart note, and it's offering a more complex and rounded heart.
Yeah, I think complex is the right description here because there is a lot of notes, and I think you've probably got a couple of different bridging notes happening here. So you got your rose and your geranium, a bridging between the I guess the opening and the heart, but probably also the honey and the caramel with that gourmand touch as well that transports us between the opening and the heart. So really quite a complex, delicate, sophisticated fragrance. So I think you really do have to get your nose on this fragrance. We're doing our best here to sort of describe what we're smelling here. But even from the experience that Robin and I are having here in the studio, what I smell on Robin's skin and what I smell on my skin, they vary. Not dramatically, but they do vary a little bit. And so they're going to vary in your skin too when you...
Of course. And by the way, so Great Ocean Road is quite unique for me because when the perfumer made this perfume, he just gave me the sample and he informed me that this one, I don't want to hear your thoughts about this perfume specifically until you try it like 4 or 5 times. So because it's a bit complex, so you have to use to smell it in order to understand it.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking that myself because I think it's definitely one of those fragrances that depending on, the heat or, the weather or just like today we're here in a room with quite a few lights and so on. It's going to smell very different.
Of course.
That's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all. I mean, we've got 6 notes in the opening. We've got 5 notes in the heart. We've got 11 notes. We're not even at the base yet. You're going to have to spend a bit of time with this. Fully appreciate the complexity of it. So now, as I mentioned, the show's unfolding in real time. So we've got a bit of time now between our heart notes and our base notes starting to come forward. So that actually gives us a bit of time to explore some of the broader range that Yassin has here with Aawed Perfumes. So, very generously, Yassin, you've sent us all of your fragrances here. So thank you so much for sending all of those through.
My pleasure.
We're going to leave it to you, though, to tell us which one you would like us to experience next. So which one from the range should we grab?
La Foce Vita.
Okay.
Fantastic. All right.
Right.
So we're going to pull it out. And again, we're going to spray this onto blotters. We
Yeah.
can't spray every one of these onto our skin, obviously. We're going to run out of skin.
We've got these lovely magnetic caps as well.
Oh, fantastic. I've got to say, the bottles here, they are heavy. They're heavy, beautiful, high quality bottles with the beautiful magnetic caps here. We all love a magnetic cap. It's a real sign of quality, which is really what your brand is all about here. So beautiful, beautiful bottles.
So La Foce Vita is inspired by a garden, a Tuscany garden in Italy. It's called La Foce Garden. La Foce Vita opens with a fresh citrus and herbal notes, giving it an uplifting and fresh feel. So the heart of this perfume reveals a blend of floral and green notes, evoking the feeling of walking through the Italian garden. This perfume is like one of the easiest perfumes to wear, specifically in the summer and the spring. And for the base note, it's grounded in warm moods and spices, offering a comforting and lasting finish. It captures the joy and the virtuality of life in Italy and the Mediterranean.
I think that's a great description. This is so fresh. This is absolutely beautiful. This is definitely a summer fragrance. So summer spring, I would say. I'd say you could probably wear this all the way through the year, but it's just super fresh. If it's hot outside, this is the one to go for sure. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
It's lovely. To me, it reminds me of just after rain in a garden. So everything just kind of smells more vibrant than normal. I really like it.
So what note would you say, we're only going to get through the opening notes here. We don't have time to go all the way through the dry down of this fragrance. But, and we're all smelling the blotter, so we're all smelling the same thing here. Which note would you say pops the most here in the
So I'll be say the citrus notes, orange, bergamot, and Italian lemon as well. Iris, it has 4 different iris actually species, so it's to be complicated, and also a spicy note that comes from the pepper, black pepper, and the cardamom. So that's all in the top note.
Yeah.
What are you getting?
To me, it's more floral that I'm smelling.
Yeah.
And I really like it.
I'm getting the bergamot and the spice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's funny how different noses pick up on different things. So you're getting more of the florally. I'm getting the citrusy bergamot and balanced with the spice.
Interesting.
Super sort of, summery and fresh. Absolutely beautiful. Almost delicious in itself. I understand this is not really a gourmand, but I guess it almost could be with all of those fruits sitting there in the opening.
Yeah, it's very fresh. So
beautiful. La Volce Vita. It is an absolutely beautiful. If you're looking for a summer freshie, this is the one to go for.
Thank you.
All right, Yassin, which one should we have a look at next?
So next will be Nossi Manitra.
Okay, we have it right here. Could you just open that one for me?
Fantastic. Again, beautiful heavy caps. Now, the juice in this one is quite a lot darker. Yassin, I'm not sure if that's going to give us a clue as to what kind of fragrance this is, but I'm just spraying that out now.
Nossi Manitra.
Nossi Manitra. Now, this is a really interesting name.
So Nossi Manitra is an island in Madagascar. It has the best ylang ylang and also, of course, vanilla. And by the way, Nossi Manitra, by the language, the Malayan language in Madagascar, the island itself, it's called Nossi B. Okay? But in their language, Nossi Manitra means the scented island because it's full of scents because of the fruits, the ylang ylang, the vanilla. So that's why we named it Nossi Manitra.
The vanilla is punching through on this one for sure. Yeah, it's really, I've been using delicious all the way through this because you've got a little bit of a theme of delicious notes all the way through here. You see?
Yeah.
But I also get the waxy floral in this. So I get both.
Yep.
So that comes from the ylang ylang and the jasmine as well, because we use jasmine in this one. And also you'll be smelling the dried fruits plus the pineapple.
Wow. Okay.
It's quite a fruity fragrance.
It's tropical.
I wouldn't say that this is like an overly summer fragrance, though.
No, because this one actually, the dry down for this perfume, it's leathery. So the leather comes on the base of this perfume. So I would say it's for the autumn or fall and the spring.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, good pickup.
Yeah, it's really quite interesting. It's a you don't often get those type of notes in the opening and find that it's a more of a wintry autumn type fragrance. So it's quite unique.
The other thing is, although it's got quite gourmandy notes that we're talking as sweet notes, it's not overly sweet to my nose.
Yep.
No?
Yeah. I'd say it's probably balanced out with that. I know we're only sort of in the opening here, but I'd say that leather is starting to come through already. Yeah, it's sort of...
It takes a bit of time.
It does. Yeah, it's quite an interesting one, this one. So, yeah,
Absolutely.
sort of, I'd say winter, autumn, maybe even spring. Not so much a summer fragrance, although you could maybe get away with it. Just depends on the temperature.
Evening?
Evening.
Summer evening?
Yeah.
I'd say this is quite a sophisticated fragrance here, Yassin. It's one that you would wear maybe on a date night or even to an office. That'd be a really good sort of place to wear it. Fantastic. This is really beautiful. I can't believe how dark the juice is on this. It's sort of hard to show on camera here because we do have the red behind us here, and then I've got the leather jacket on. But juice is very, very dark. Really, really gorgeous fragrance. Fantastic. All right. Let's move on to our next fragrance. Which one would you like to move on to next? Mutra. Fantastic. That's right here.
Right. Give it a spray.
Fantastic. All right, but that's a nice heavy cap. But when you pop that cap down, it thuds, doesn't it? So it is so heavy. Fantastic.
Right, this is completely different again.
I know, it's really, really different. All
This
right,
is,
Yassin, take us through it.
Sorry, yeah. This is a very oriental perfumes. It opens with the Omani Luban and blends of spices and citrus, which gives it an energetic and bold first impression. And for this one, the heart reveals rich floral and woody notes, reflecting the beauty of the Middle Eastern perfumes and cultures.
Okay, so this is what it's inspired by, the Middle East. Is there any specific
so it's
country?
in Oman. Oman is they have a very rich culture and heritage when it comes to the incense or the perfumes. They have an amazing perfumes there.
Yeah, they do. One of our favorites, Amouage, comes from
Homage is a big fan of Homage, actually.
Yeah, beautiful. Oman's one of those places we're dying to go to. It looks like such a beautiful country. One day. Fantastic. All right. So in terms of seasonality, what would you say is season appropriate for this particular fragrance?
So for Motrah, I would say it's more for the cooler seasons than the warm seasons, the hot seasons.
Yep. Yeah. Bit more of a wintry autumn one. You know what this reminds me of? It's I'm gonna butcher this, but is it Bakur? Bakur? That's sort
Bakur.
of
Incense?
Bakur. Yes, incense. Yeah, it's got that sort of incense. It's sort of inspiring that sort of that smell for me.
Yeah, definitely yes.
Well done.
Yeah, that's I guess that. Yeah, you smell it now. Because I burn a bit of this at home. Just to fragrance our house, the Bakur. I guess that's been part of our sort of Middle Eastern journey, because we love Middle Eastern fragrances.
Yeah, and that's what we're naming it Luban. Honestly, like the Omani word is the Luban, which is the incense, the bakhur.
There you go.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I am learning a few things here. This is really glorious, and I've got to say, like we've just said, that this particular fragrance is more of a sort of a wintry autumn fragrance, but by no means is it super heavy and super dense. I actually think you could probably wear this for the vast majority of the year. Maybe not 40-degree heat, right? But
No.
I'd say for most of the year, this is season appropriate. It's quite an easy wearing fragrance,
Yep.
despite the complexity that sits within this as well. So
Yep.
quite versatile, I would say. This is one of those ones that you would, if you're not sure what to wear today, you'd reach for this particular fragrance and bang that one on.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And one of the
nice.
biggest markets for Mutra is Russia and Ukraine. These places, they love Mutra. It reminds them of like the church, and because of the incense.
Yeah, I think this is why I like it a lot as well, because I'm a big fan of incense fragrances.
Yeah.
I'd say of all of the fragrances that I've got, the most in my collection are incense-based fragrances. So I love those sort of churchy sort of smells as well.
Yeah.
It's got a sweetness as well as the smokiness to my nose.
So interestingly, just before we move on to, we've still got a couple more fragrances to go. You just mentioned that one of your biggest audiences for this particular fragrance is Russia. So tell us a little bit about your distribution there, Yassin. Are you distributing these fragrances throughout the globe?
Yeah, at the moment, actually, we are distributing in, we are still like quite new. This is the second year for us. We established this business in 23. Now we are distributing in the Gulf region. Here, the UAE, the Saudi Arabia, and very soon will be in Qatar as well, and Kuwait. We have a distribution in Russia as well, and we do have a distribution in Turkey, and in Italy we are close to have a distribution in Italy, which is actually like for like Europe overall. Okay, we're trying hard to be presented in Australia, hopefully very soon. So yeah, we're trying hard to be like all around the world.
Fantastic. For such a young company, that is really impressive that you've got that much distribution already. And certainly, within the Australian market, I mean, we found you very, very easily. So I'm sure people are going to be able to find you and want to get their hands on these fragrances. Because I guess one of the things that we see, it's probably not just the Australian market, but certainly at least in the Western market, I can't really speak of other markets because I'm not in them. But there is a really strong desire to get really good performance out of your fragrances. So there's this term that gets bandied around a fair bit, beast mode. I guess when you spray your fragrance on, you want it to project quite strongly. You want it to have really good CR, so you want to leave a nice trail behind you as well. And then, of course, when you spray it on, you don't want to have to be continually reapplying those fragrances. You want it to last for many, many hours. I'd say with the concentration, which is extract de parfum, is that correct, with your fragrances?
All of them are extract de parfum. And by the way, so we are with every perfume set, we're just sending a small 6 ml pure oil. For this reason, actually, particularly, like if you want to boost the scent in the middle of the day or something, you can just apply it. Or if you're traveling, no need to take the whole bottle with you, because we know that 100 ml is very difficult to take while you're traveling.
Yeah, very convenient. And we were really impressed when we saw this. In fact, we might grab that right now, just show our viewers exactly what you do get when you order one of the Aawed fragrances here. So what Yassin was just referring to is this small travel size one, which I might just put my hand here so you can see it. Let's actually show, let me just grab the packaging here. So there's also an outer sleeve here, but you get this beautiful box. When you open it up, on the inside, you've got the place for the full fragrance, but also for this smaller fragrance here. So the smaller travel size just fits in here, and then you have your larger fragrance which goes in here. And the presentation is just absolutely amazing. You've cut no corners here. Of course, here's the outer sleeve.
The Great Ocean Road.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, so I can now Del Rio. It might be a good one to transition to next.
Yeah. This is one of my favorite, actually. Pinar del Rio. It's Cuba.
Pinar del Rio.
Yeah.
Cuba. Oh,
Cuba.
let's do it.
All right, we're just spraying this one out onto the blotters here. Let's have a little bit of a smell. All right, I'm a big fan of this.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I can see why you love this one as well. Yassin. All right, for our listeners and for the people watching, what are we smelling here in the opening?
So Pinar del Rio opens with a fresh green notes and a hint of citrus, tobacco, and the hash vibes. Like the hash is the brown cannabis, like it's a cannabis mixed with tobacco and mint as well. So be smelling all of these scents together, evoking the feeling of walking through the forest after rain.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely getting the tobacco coming through here. Yeah. Yeah, and that's there is quite a strong cannabis note in here as well.
Yeah.
This is, we said beast mode. This is beast mode. Wow.
Yeah.
Like we've just sprayed, what, 2 sprays? 2 sprays. This is a fairly substantial size studio here. The whole studio has just filled up with this fragrance here. It is quite strong.
Yeah.
And beautiful. All right. So this is definitely on the wintry, colder sort of end of the spectrum in terms of when you would wear it, but inspired by Cuba.
Of course, yeah. It's inspired by the lush natural beauty of Cuba, where the forest and the mountains meet the sea. So, and when I'm spraying this one, I feel like this is more like all of the perfumes are unisex, but I would say this one is leaning more into the masculine side. You'll be like feeling you are like a boss or like a gentleman.
Yeah, boss vibes for sure.
It's
Yeah.
definitely brings the forest vibes to me.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, you can get a whole range of different tobacco style notes. How would you describe the tobacco that's actually used in this fragrance?
So in this fragrance, we use 2 types of tobacco. The tobacco leaves itself, which is used in the cigar. And by the way, one of the best cigars in the world is Pinar del Rio cigars. And we used also the tobacco flower. So there is a white flower comes from the tobacco, like beside the tobacco leaves. We used it as well.
I was going to say it's definitely got the cigar vibes to me.
Yeah.
When I smelt this, it was Fidel Castro smoking a big fat cigar, giving off those sort of boss vibes there. I think you've nailed it here with that imagery. Fantastic. So if we had the time to go through the remainder of the dry down here with this particular fragrance, if getting to the heart and the base, what kind of notes would we be experiencing?
So the heart is floral and earthy, while the base is warm and woody.
Okay. All right. So you lift the fragrance up. It's a little bit lighter, I guess, in the heart with the floral notes. Sort of balances out those really heavy sort of tobacco.
Yeah, because it's very difficult to have a very heavy scent stick to your skin for like 8, 10, 12 hours. You'll be annoyed after some time.
I can imagine you would be.
Yeah.
So is that the kind of longevity we would get out of this fragrance, around that sort of 10, maybe even 12-hour mark?
Yeah, this is extra to perform. If you spread it on your clothes, you'll be like having it for like ages. But on skin, especially with like if the weather is good, like 10, 12 hours, easy.
Fantastic. That's great longevity, isn't it?
You know what I love about this is it's got all those sort of quite strong notes, but there's also there's a freshness in the top that I'm enjoying as well. So it's not, like you say, it's not all that. It's heavy, but it's not heavy somehow. It's hard to describe, but
yeah. Could be those floral notes in the heart starting to come through as well, just to balance this fragrance out. This is really, really gorgeous.
Because we used a heavy ingredients, but at the same time we use the fresh ones like the peppermint, the orange, a hint of cinnamon, and black currant. So like We try to balance it.
I think it's the peppermint. It sort of brings some sort of coolness to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that you've said peppermint, I'm getting it. It's interesting. Until those individual notes are called out, it's hard to identify them because it's, you've got a master perfumer blending this stuff, right? So
Of course.
it's all blended and balanced quite well. And so it's hard to pick out individual notes, but then when you say it, yeah, you can smell that sort of that freshness. Great fragrance. I can tell you now, I'm going to be dousing myself in this before we go home because it's just beautiful. It's the right weather in Melbourne right now for this particular fragrance. Fantastic. All right, so I think we've got
one more.
One more to go.
Meguro River.
Fantastic. All right, so we're just going to spray it out.
What's the inspiration behind Meguro River?
So Meguro River, the inspiration, it's inspired by the cherry blossoms along the Meguro River in Tokyo. It's a river in Tokyo. Like it's in a springtime. It's all having the cherry blossoms. It's a symbol of renewal and beauty.
It's amazing.
It's very lovely. And it's an interesting color, the fragrance as well. It's sort of like lilac, purple. Yep.
I don't think I've ever smelled anything like this before. This is quite unique.
I'll say this perfume is like touching the emotions more.
Beautiful.
It's inspired by cherry blossoms.
Yeah, so inspired by the Meguro River in springtime in Tokyo. Yeah, it has a lot of sakura or the cherry blossoms, and it has yuzu as well. It has some fruity notes, but at the same time, we used almond and a white musk to give it the gourmand, creamy, smooth heart and base. I would say this one is leaning more into the feminine side, but I would wear it. That's fine.
Yeah.
So it's a unisex, but leaning more into the feminine.
Yeah, and I think this is true of most fragrances, isn't it? There's no true man's fragrance or woman's fragrance. There's leaning feminine or leaning masculine, but anyone can wear it.
Yes.
Wear what you love. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like I love rose fragrances. I love rose and oud fragrances particularly,
Amazing.
but I love a good rose fragrance, and I think men smell really nice as wearing a rose fragrance, but it could be perceived as a bit of a feminine leaning sort of smell. So, I would agree. I would wear this as well, but I was sort of thinking this would absolutely be great on Robin and on her skin.
Can't wait to wear this out.
Yeah, you can wear absolutely gorgeous. I think you've
gorgeous.
got a really well balanced range here. You've got fragrances that are great for summer and spring, other fragrances that are great for autumn and winter. Probably every occasion I can possibly imagine, whether that be an office, whether it be a date night, whether it be a special occasion, whether it just be hanging out on the weekend. You've sort of covered the full spectrum here. It's absolutely amazing. So, especially for such a young brand, I can't believe how much you've actually got done in just 2 years?
2 years.
You've been really impressive, Yassin. I'm really blown away by the fragrances here.
Thank you so much.
Fantastic. All right, so that has been a really great overview, and I think we're about. Well, I've got my timer here. We're actually reaching that 1 hour mark since we actually sprayed out our fragrance. So I think it's probably time to return to the base of the Great Ocean Road. But just to round out the educational piece, we'll just go back to our perfume pyramid. So now let's imagine the perfume pyramid again. We're right at the bottom of the pyramid now. So we've got our opening notes at the top, our heart notes in the middle, and the very bottom of the fragrance of the pyramid, I should say. We have our base notes. Our base notes are almost the opposite of those opening notes. So while our opening notes are quite volatile and quite light, our base notes are quite dense and they're quite heavy. And those notes are the ones that actually stick to our skin and give us the longevity of the fragrance. Effectively, the heart notes and the opening notes are supported by the base notes. Once the fragrance dries down, the opening notes and the heart notes start to dissipate. It's the base notes that stick on our skin. And as Yassin just said before, we're looking at 12 hours of longevity with some of these fragrances here. So It's actually the base notes that are hanging around for the longevity of that fragrance. So I guess with all of that explained, Yassin, what are we experiencing here in our base?
So the base note of Great Ocean Road includes oud, oak moss, civet, and ambergris. These create a deep, rich foundation that adds complexity and longevity to the fragrance. And the oud and the oak moss bring an earthy, grounded quality, while the civet and ambergris contribute sensuality and warmth.
These are some
Heavy hitter.
heavy hitters. That's a
Yeah,
good way to put it. These are heavy hitters in base notes. So you mentioned oud, you mentioned ambergris, you mentioned civet, you mentioned oak moss. These are really quite strong individual notes. It's amazing how these are blended to be so balanced, but we're going to have to drill into a couple of these here. So we've experienced ambergris before. I think ambergris, Great Ocean Road, that oceanic type of smell that you get from ambergris makes absolute sense. In terms of the actual specific ambergris that you're using here, is this a natural ambergris or is this a synthetic note?
it's a mixture between the synthetic and a natural. So we used a 25% natural, 75% synthetic. Why? Because the natural ambergris is very complex, but at the same time, it gives you the oceanic, not like the oceanic vibes, and at the same time, the synthetic ones to connect the top and the heart with the base. So it's like bridging.
Interesting.
Wow.
Mm.
So I guess for those who might be a little bit new to perfumery, ambergris is a very expensive ingredient. So it is the byproduct from a whale, and essentially the whale excretes this this substance, which I think is I don't fully understand where it comes from, but I think it's a byproduct of them processing, eating krill and other sort of
Yeah,
oceanic creatures.
yeah, it comes from the ambergris whale. Like it's a bit like disgusting, but that's the nature. Like it's a digesting process from
Mm.
the whale.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then it comes out of the whale and it'll often float on the surface of the ocean for quite a long time before it eventually either washes up to shore or someone is lucky enough to find it. And when I say lucky, you are very, very lucky if you
Oh, that's a
find this
dream
stuff.
for
Oh my God. You were basically, if you find a lump of ambergris, you're probably going to retire, all right? Because it is worth that much money. It's an extraordinarily expensive ingredient. So
yeah.
and it's been used in perfumery for a very, very long time. It's probably one of the most studied, I guess, notes in perfumery. And so synthetic is pretty well nailed down as well. So you've got a beautiful combination of both here, which is amazing.
Yeah. I think we had another, I can't recall who, but I think one of our previous guests said that you'll be lucky to smell true ambergris. So here we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're not working with a master perfumer and you own a perfume brand, you probably won't get the chance to get your hands on pure.
I'll try to bring an actual lens for you.
Oh, fantastic! We would love the opportunity to smell
My
real
pleasure.
ambergris. I think it would be a real experience for us. So you also mentioned another extraordinarily expensive note here, which is oud, which is a personal favorite of mine.
Yeah.
So I guess there is a lot of different types of oud. Oud can be found throughout the subcontinent, depending on which country it comes from. It'll depend on how it smells. I guess what type of oud have you used here in the base?
We used in this perfume three natural oud: Indian oud, Cambodian oud, and Barashin oud. Okay, so and each one for a specific reason. So the Indian oud is a bit animalic, to give you these animalic vibes. It's a bit dirty, animalic oud. At the same time, we use the Cambodian oud. It's very rich and it gives a depth to the base note. And the Barashin note, so the Barashin oud is a sweet oud. So we wanted to balance the Indian and the Cambodian body brushing out to give it like a good vibes.
I'm honestly shocked that you can sell this fragrance for this price when you're using such expensive ingredients in the fragrance. I mean, you've got real ambergris, you've got real oud. Oh, I can't believe the price you're selling this for. So we'll put all the website details up on the screen a little bit later in the show, so that people can find it and you'll understand what we mean.
Yeah.
We say we can't believe the balance of value that you're actually getting inside of this fragrance, because this should be like $1,000 this fragrance. But I digress. So we've got a blend of 3 different ouds, all bringing something slightly different to the fragrance just to balance out fragrance.
And then, of course, we have to ask about civet, because we haven't experienced civet in any of the fragrances that we've been exploring.
Yeah. So the civet that have been used in this perfume, it's a synthetic civet, because it's prohibited now to use the natural civet, because it's very harmful for the civet cats. So it's a synthetic, but it adds a warm, musky note that's like sensual and intimate, while ambergris offers a rich oceanic quality.
Interesting. I mean, I'm kind of relieved to hear it is a synthetic. But look, for me, it would be hard to pick out the civet from the oud. I think I don't have a sophisticated enough nose to be able to fully pick those out, or perhaps it's the blending.
Yeah.
What about you? Yeah.
I wouldn't say that I can pick it out specifically again, because it's quite well blended. But I guess you mentioned that it gives that sort of sensual note, and I think the vibe that I'm getting from the base, that sensual sort of note, that's what I'm getting, rather than picking out specifically civet. It's giving that sense
Yes.
from the base there.
So would you say that it's a little bit like musk, where it's sometimes a little bit hard to describe it, but it's a vibe.
Because the civet itself is like, if you're smelling the civet on its own, it's unpleasant. But at the same time, when you're using it in the right portion or the correct portion, it gives you like sensual and intimate vibes. It's like, it has these vibes.
Mm.
Yeah, I guess there is musk in the base here as well. So I guess the musk and the civet are giving that sort of sensual skin type of scent. Allure, I guess. So I guess we just mentioned in the same vein as civet, we mentioned musk. What type of musk are we using here in the base?
Yes. In this perfume, we used a synthetic musk, which is representing the deer musk. We didn't want to use too much musk because we're using civet, so we're just like giving an extra element to the base note to give it more pleasant smell.
Yeah, fantastic. So it's got a nice combination of naturals and synthetics, just used in the right proportions to give you sort of longevity out of your fragrance, but also to give you that really nice natural smell as well. So, and most musks that you find in fragrances these days are synthetic musks, often for the same reason that civet is synthetic as well, because it's actually difficult to extract this ingredient without actually harming the animal.
The animals.
And I think that, I mean, obviously, because it is quite a strong fragrance, I'm not sure how long it would take to really get down to the base notes, but I can still smell some of the floral notes as well. Can you?
Yeah, from the heart.
From the heart.
Yeah, absolutely. We haven't fully dried down here.
Yeah.
This is quite a strong perfume. I think all of them, to be honest, are. So I guess we're only getting a sense of the base at this stage. It's definitely very different on my skin than it is on the blotter here, for sure. But I've mentioned a couple of times I run a little bit hot, so the fragrance is developing a little bit faster on my skin than it is on the blotter.
Yeah, because I'm starting to get the sweetness now on my skin, whereas you were getting it before.
Yeah, I've progressed a little bit further. I can get the oud.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
definitely in the base. Definitely getting what I think is civet, but that's sort of musky, sensual sort of piece there in the base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely. So I guess you've also mentioned oak moss
Yeah.
in the base there. So I think you can only use very small quantities of oak moss. I think that's my understanding. Is it oak moss that's a little bit restricted in terms of how much you can use?
I
Yeah,
believe
the
so.
EPRA. So we cannot use too much of the. Actually, all the perfumes are EPRA compliant, which is, sometimes like in the old days they were using all of the ingredients or the essential oils freely, but sometimes it causes like irritation for the sensitive skins. So that's why EPRA is putting restrictions on what you can use and what you cannot.
Yeah.
Fantastic. That's why it's always good to deal with companies that are IFRA compliant.
Yeah, of
So
course.
glad to hear that, Yasin.
Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. So we've gone through all the way through the Great Ocean Road. What a wonderful fragrance. What a complex fragrance. So I think at the heart we were at 11. We've now got another 5 notes in the base. So that makes it 16 notes. So 16 notes in this fragrance. This is very, very complex with a combination of natural and synthetic ingredients. And the natural ingredients are some of the most expensive ingredients on earth,
Yeah,
effectively. So, I mean, oud is sometimes worth millions of dollars, depending on which type of oud that you use. Obviously, ambergris is also
ambergris.
extraordinarily expensive. Ambergris, you find a lump of ambergris, you're retiring effectively. So, amazing high quality ingredients, beautifully blended by a master perfumer from France, and owned by a brand that really cares about Australia, the Australian landscape. It's been an absolutely amazing masterclass here. So, thank you so much, Yassin, for taking us all the way through.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I'd just like to say thank you as well, Yasin. It's been amazing. I've really we've learnt a lot with all these amazing ingredients. They are definitely there's some standouts there, and we've really been. I think you're right with this particular fragrance. It's definitely going to be one where I think Trent and I need to take it away and wear it on a few different occasions and sort of just pick each other's brains as well on, what are we experiencing on that day and in different environments and in different seasons. But thank you so much for educating us today.
Thank you so much for having me today. It has been a pleasure actually sharing our story with you and being with you today.
Now, just for our listeners, if you could tell us where they can find your products.
So our products now, they can find them online through our official website. Also, we are very active on the social media. So like keep up to date with the new releases and the latest news from the brand. We're working very hard to be present in the Australian market, in ensuring that our unique fragrance resonate with the local customers and align with the country's appreciation for quality and craftsmanship.
You're certainly seeing on a winner here. I'm very sure that the Australian public will be absolutely enamored by these fragrances because honestly, I'm going to call it bang for buck, right? The value that you're getting from these fragrances is just it's extraordinary. I actually can't think of too many fragrance houses that are giving you this balance of quality, high quality ingredients at the price that you are offering them for. It's just
Thank you very
absolutely
much.
amazing.
My
So
pleasure.
yeah, really well done. And just for those people who are watching at home, what we've got on our screen right now is Aawed's website. So it'll be popping up on the bottom of your screen right now. For those people who are listening via Spotify or if you're listening via Apple Podcasts, I will have a link to the Aawed website built into the description. So make sure you go to the description, click onto the link there. It'll take you straight through to Yassin's website. What we'll have flashing on the screen for you right now as well is our QR code. Now that QR code will take you to our website, which is olfactive.com.au. Just simply head to the episodes page and we'll have Aawed and Yassin's details there. Again, a link through to his website along with all of the socials. So there's lots and lots of different ways in which you can connect with Aawed and actually find his fragrances.
And also, I just have to ask Yassin, although you are a very new brand, whether there's anything new or something coming up in the pipeline that we should be aware of.
Yeah, we're working very hard actually on expanding our portfolio through applying more different applications like all over sprays and sorry. So we're working hard to expand our portfolio through providing different applications and also different scents that provides like a different places and different memories.
Fantastic. So we can expect a few more fragrances to join the lineup down the track.
Of course.
Good stuff. Fantastic. We'll be keeping an eye on Aawed and on your fragrance lineup, and making sure that we get our nose on those very, very quickly, hopefully first. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it, Yassin. So
thank you, Martin.
I just want to thank you for just being so generous with your time today. You've spent quite a lot of time with us, taking us through every aspect of the perfume, taking the opportunity to educate us on notes that we weren't all that familiar with. And we really appreciate you joining us all the way from Dubai. So this is not something that we usually do, jump online and actually do a podcast virtually. But we're actually looking forward to meeting you face to face and hosting you here in Melbourne when you head over later this year.
It's my pleasure being with you today, and it will be my pleasure being with you face to face this year.
Yeah, we'll definitely be looking forward to it. Yeah. And so thank you, everyone. And thank you to our listeners. We hope that you've enjoyed this special virtual episode that we've done today. If you have, please like and subscribe. And remember to join us next time for another amazing masterclass and the stories of the founders and perfumers behind the brands.
Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.